Hi, this is David with DK Cattle Company. Today we're going to talk about the bare minimums you need to bring cows onto your property. First, let's talk about fencing. I think the best setup you can have right now for fencing that's going to give you your best value is going to be the Premier One electric netting products, specifically the 164-foot length variant. I would get 4 of those with a solar charger. You're going to be able to fence in over a ½ acre of land with that. And the best part about that is it's a mobile setup, meaning you only have a ½ acre of fencing, sure, but with that ½ acre, you can graze 100. You can graze anything you have, whether you have 5 acres to graze or 20 or 50. With that ½ acre of fencing, you can move it with the cows throughout the summer and the grazing season and be able to graze as much land as you need to. I would go with that. That's going to be about a little bit less than $600 for the fencing, and then a nice solar charger. The charger is more important than the fencing. You need a good, reliable one. It's going to be about $250 to $350 for that, but let's call it $300 even. So you're already under $900 for the total setup, and that would cover all of your fencing needs from anywhere from a ½ acre all the way up to 50, like we just said. The next thing we're going to talk about is water. You're going to need a good water tank. A good water tank is going to be about $1 to $2 a gallon new. I would recommend anything from 80 to 120 gallons. If you're going to use that ½ acre of fencing, you're going to go through about a tank of water for every time you need to move the cows, roughly. I mean, it's not perfect math, but you're going to go through about a tank of water for every time that you need to move that ½ acre of pasture. So it kind of works out perfect to be in that 80 to 120 gallon range. Always look on Facebook Marketplace though, because those things are always on there and you can get them pretty cheap. But let's call that $150. So you're at $1,050 so far. Next, we're going to talk about shade. Your cows need shade for the hottest months of the summer. They need to be able to get out of the sun during the middle of the day. In the beginning, when you just get cows, let's say you plan on getting cows this spring, you can get away with having a good shade tree, just fencing in that and having them under that. At some point, you're going to need a structure for the winter time to get them out of the rain, the wind, the snow, those kind of inclement weather conditions. So next, let's talk about shade. In the hottest months of the summer, the cows need to be able to get out of the sun during the hottest parts of the day. So they're going to need at least a tree to be able to get under in the summertime in their pasture area. Ideally, a 3-sided structure of some sort. You're going to need it for the wintertime anyway, because come winter, they're going to need a 3-sided structure to get out of the wind, the snow, the rain, that colder weather. A cow doesn't like to be wet and cold, so they need something to get out of that. If you don't have the money to buy something like that right away, fence them in on a piece of land that has a tree they can get out of that hot weather, and then just know that before winter comes, they need something to get out of the weather. But for that 3-sided structure, you don't need anything crazy. Either find a run-in lean-to that someone's already built on Facebook, or just buy an old shed on Facebook. They're on Facebook Marketplace all the time, Craigslist all the time. Use sheds that are kind of in gross condition. Well, guess what? A cow doesn't care. They just want to get out of the wind and the rain. So that's what I would recommend for that. I wouldn't spend more than a couple $100 in that endeavor. Let's say, call it $300-400. So let's say $350 on an average. So you're at $1,400 total on this whole endeavor to get cows onto your property. So let's say you got your fencing set up, you got your water tank in the fencing for them, and you got a good shade tree for them, and you got a nice setup for your cows. You're thinking, I'm gonna get these cows. You get the cows, they're on your property, whether it's 5 or 20 of them. The next thing you're gonna want to do is find a local vet to establish care with. You don't get car insurance after you get in a car accident. It's the same thing with a vet. You don't call a vet when there's a problem. You call a vet, you establish a relationship with a vet before there's a problem. That way, when you do have a problem, you can call them up. They know who you are. They have you on their file, and it's easy from there. If you call a vet when you have a problem and you don't establish a relationship with them, it's not going to go good for you. It's going to be hard to find someone to come out to your farm that's never seen your animals before that point. That vet visit, when they come to your farm, it is a little pricey. It could be anywhere from $200 to $500 where you're at nationally. I think I paid $180 last summer to have the vet come out and just establish care, have them get eyes on the herd and stuff. That is worth its weight in gold, though, especially if you're starting out and you have no experience doing this stuff. You kind of need someone there and in your corner to kind of hold your hand if anything were to go wrong, if something looks weird or something like that. You're really going to want that there. So that is probably the most important thing to consider when talking about getting cows on your property. So in conclusion, you get your fencing for $600 for the electric netting, then $300 for the charger. You're at $900. We're gonna spend $150 on a stock tank. You're at $1,050. Then a shade shed that you're gonna find on Facebook for real cheap. We're gonna pay $300 for that. You're at $1,350 there. And then you're gonna schedule a vet visit. Let's say it's $250. That's $1,600. So for $1,600, that's a quarter of what some people pay just for their fencing. You have everything you need to carry your cow herd indefinitely. Another thing you're gonna have to consider is buying hay for the winter time. Start looking for that stuff earlier in the year. You want to, once you start seeing local hay producers start to cut their first cutting, that's when you really want to start reaching out to people and seeing if you can get better deals if you get the hay directly out of the fields and stuff like that. So really start considering hay early on. But besides that, I mean, those are really the only things you're going to have to get going. I really wanted to make this video today to show people that it doesn't have to be this super complicated thing that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. If you have that mobile electric fence setup, a good water tank, and a source for shade, you're gonna get through that summer. And if you have good hay and good shelter to get them out of the wind, the rain, the snow, you're gonna get them through the winter. And that cycle is gonna continue. No matter how many animals you have, how many acres you have for pasture, that setup will work all the way. I'd probably 20, 30 animals. That would be a good setup for. So don't think that you need to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You just need a good, simple setup and a good vet in your corner, and you're ready to go. Don't be intimidated by this. It doesn't have to be that hard. If you like this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below, and have a good day.